A diver drops through dark green water in a copper helmet, boots heavy as anchors, breathing through a hose tied to the world above. Then the seabed appears, and it looks like a massacre. Limbs, faces, bodies sprawled across rock. When Elias Stadiatis reaches the surface near Antikythera, he reports what sounds like delirium. What he has found is stranger. A shipwreck littered with statues, luxury cargo, and, hidden among the wreckage, a corroded bronze object that would eventually force historians to redraw the limits of the ancient mind. The famous discovery is usually flattened into one neat date. It should not be. First came the wreck itself, stumbled upon by sponge divers from Semi after bad weather drove them toward the island of Antikythera, between Crete and mainland Greece. Then came the salvage of 1900 and 1901, led with Greek state support and the Royal Navy, by Captain Dimitris Kontos, and men including Stadiatis, Kyriakos Mountiadis, Georgios Mountiadis, and Georgios Kritikos, who later died during the operations. Only after the cargo reached Athens did the third discovery arrive. In May 1902, a corroded lump in the National Archaeological Museum was recognized as a machine because a gear tooth caught the eye. The wreck lay 50 to 64 meters down, on a dangerous but busy Mediterranean route. Recovering anything from it in those suits was brutal work. Yet the sea gave up about 36 marble statues and fragments of others, the bronze ephebae, glass vessels, coins from Asia Minor, timber from the hull, and elite goods likely headed west in the late Hellenistic world, perhaps toward Rome's appetite for Greek art. At first, the mechanism did not look like revelation. It looked like wreckage, bronze fused to wood, a lump from a dead ship. Then the museum fragment split, and the object changed category. Not treasure, not sculpture, instrument. Later reporting often gave the credit to Valerios Stais. Some contemporary accounts pointed instead to his cousin Spyridon Stais, who visited the museum on May 20th, 1902, and noticed the geared fragment. A later history of archaeology suggests the two were examining it together, and memory simplified the scene into a single hero. That feels appropriate. The mechanism has been resisting simplification ever since. What survives today is not fantasy and not a complete machine, but fragments preserving 30 surviving bronze gears. Radiography, X-rays, and CT scans turned that corroded box into an argument with modern arrogance. This was an ancient Greek astronomical and calendrical calculating machine. Turn a knob, and interlocking gear trains tracked the sun, the moon, lunar phases, eclipse cycles, and calendar systems. Research published in 2006 and 2008 showed eclipse prediction and an Olympiad display for major games. Inscriptions suggest month names linked to Corinthian traditions, while festival names such as Na and Haliea hint at a connection to northwest Greece and Rhodes. A 2021 reconstruction went further, proposing a front display that modeled the Greek cosmos with the known planets. Its importance is technical, but not only technical. The mechanism makes ancient science feel physical. Prediction was not left on papyrus. It was packed into bronze. Someone in the Hellenistic Mediterranean believed the heavens could be handled, geared and carried in a case about the size of a shoebox. Britannica notes that no other surviving geared mechanism of comparable complexity appears again until medieval cathedral clocks roughly 1,000 years later. That gap is why the object still feels almost impolite, as if it arrived from a future antiquity was never supposed to have. And it did something else. The Antikythera wreck helped inaugurate underwater archaeology as a scientific field. The site is still unfinished business. Modern expeditions, beginning again in 2014, have mapped the wreck, identified bow and stern, and made clear that much of the cargo remains below. There are older echoes here. Cicero described celestial devices associated with Archimedes and Posidonius. Medieval Europe would later build vast clocks to mechanize sacred time. But the Antikythera mechanism sits in the middle, like an inconvenient survivor, proof that sophisticated knowledge does not rise in a straight line. Sometimes it sinks, calcifies, and waits. Then a storm changes course. A diver looks down, and history has to admit it was missing a machine. If you liked what you watched, please like and subscribe. We post interesting and crazy stories from throughout history every Wednesday and Saturday. Yesterday's craziness? Because yesterday was crazy too.